Big Centre magazine with me, Chanel Shay Calvin.
And me, Lee Bannister.
We're with you at this time each week to take a look at what's happening on the station. We'll be finding out about news and events happening in our local communities, and we'll be welcoming some special guests too.
Oh yes, we'll be reaching into the post bag as well to see what you've been talking to us about. And remember, you can still send us your comments on your favourite shows, and we'll be reading out as many as we can a little later on.
Oh, and watch out on the Big Centre TV Facebook page, as each week we'll be asking you a question, and we want to hear your answers.
Yes, what's it going to be this week? You'll have to wait and see. So if you want to talk to us about anything at all, why not get in touch?
On social media, which obviously is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube, just do a search for us at Big Centre TV, or you can email postbag@bigcentre.tv.
Or you can put pen to paper and write to us. So this is where we do our speciality.
Yay! Ding!
There it is, Big Centre magazine, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. There it goes.
But don't worry if you missed any of those, as we'll be clicking our fingers again at the end of the show.
I think you did it then, better not. Well, now it's time to take a look at what we've been enjoying this week here on Big Centre TV, and we're going to kick off with a bit of sport. Do you like that? Kick off with sport.
I like that.
It's good, isn't it?
Now, we had a very special episode of wrestling this week, which concentrated on the upcoming fight between fierce rivals Zack Gibson and the Liverpool number one was Zack Gibson, and also Nathan Cruz.
Right. Now, the title fight is said to be one of the biggest wrestling contests in British history, and this show takes a look at both boxers' journeys so far.
Here are the rivals weighing each other up.
What do I think of Zack Gibson? He is probably the most gifted competitor in the UK today. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, lean 220 pounds as well.
Nathan Cruz is hands down one of the best wrestlers in the UK. He's got something really unique, just a star quality about him, which just puts him that step ahead of the average Joes. Any old gym blogs off the streets, he can come in, he can put on a pair of kick pads, put on a pair of trunks, get in and call himself a wrestler, especially in this day's market. But Nathan, the cream always rises to the top.
I think the clash of personalities between myself and Zack is the fact that we're very similar. I mean that in the sense that we're both very hungry. We're both on the verge of achieving something really big, and this David Boy Cup tournament is proof to that.
Now, another two wrestlers who are going head-to-head are Bagwell and Joey Scott. Now, I had I wouldn't really say the pleasure to meet them. I would say I had the dubious honour of being wedged between these two fighters. Let's take a look. Well, I'm actually quite nervous to introduce my next two guests, as these two guys are rivals and are going head-to-head in a wrestling ring. Now, the fight takes place on Friday the 2nd of October at Ulster Members Club. So I'd like to welcome Joey Scott and Bagwell to What's On.
Not just Bagwell. You'll find that my name is Travis Bagwell, the biggest bully that you'll ever meet in your life. Reason why I'm a bully? Because it gets the job done. I am the guy that pushes you over back in school. I'm the guy that steals your money and spends it on myself. I am the guy which will go onto your Facebook and I will screw with it. I will put nasty comments everywhere because I get the job done. Being a bully.
You see, Chanel, he's also the guy who likes to run his mouth around here. He's all talk. Come 2nd of October, we'll see who the real man is. How about we wrap this up now, because you're starting to annoy me. How about we sign this contract right here, right now?
Do it, son. So we're talking October the 2nd in Alcester, which sounds like a very family reunion area. We're going to make this contract official. We'll kick your ass.
Please.
Wow. So it's official then?
What are you going to do, son? Son.
We'll see about that in a second.
And what, son? What are you going to do?
Yeah. We'll see. 2nd of October, Ulster. You're mine.
You're a joke.
So if you want to see these two guys battle it out, that is on the 2nd of October at Ulster Members Club. Now for the full episode, tune in to What's On Monday nights at 7. Now, if you like a bit of dark black country humour, then In Bed with the Fizzogs could be the show for you.
Oh yes, this week the ladies were joined by one of the UK's top animal communicators and pet psychics, Elizabeth Lee Crowther of Black Country Radio fame.
I had to go round to the neighbour who'd only just moved in and said, "Can I get my cat out your back garden, please?" He looked at me as I was some strange mental person.
You are some strange mental person. There you go.
So,
So when did you, like, when was it when all of a sudden you realised that that cat wasn't just looking at you, that cat was communicating with you? How did you realise it when?
I didn't really realise, because it was something I'd always done as a child. I thought if you owned a pet, and I'd got a cat and a rabbit and later on a dog, that everybody had the experience where they could almost hear the thoughts of their pet or get these pictures or know if the pet was unwell. And I just thought that was a normal part of owning a pet. And I used to go and ride horses as well, and I'd be riding them and I'd get, oh, my back's aching, or my leg is hurting, or my saddle doesn't fit properly.
Now, keep animals and pets in mind, because we'll be asking you a question a little later on.
Will we?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay. Now, this week we had a very artistic life stories as Des Tong explored a new exhibition of work by the artist and prolific songwriter, composer and lyricist Brian Travers, who you may be more familiar with as the founding member and saxophonist of UB40.
Des quizzed Brian about his fascinating life, career, and what the future holds for both himself and the band.
Yep, in this clip, Brian Travers talks about his hometown.
I've always lived in Birmingham. Over all these years, we've had houses around the world. I mean, we've been very lucky. But Birmingham's always been home. We've always maintained a home here. And my kids went to school in Birmingham. They're proud Brummies. And
as are you.
Yeah, I am, I suppose.
Often you sort of going and banging on about the Birmingham.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's no place like home, as you know yourself from your tour.
Absolutely. And then you went to Moseley School of Art.
The Moseley Road School of Art, yeah. I went at 11 years old, a very special school. It's in the middle of Borsall Heath on the Moseley Road, opposite the swimming baths. And you took an art exam to go there. You didn't have to pass your 11 plus. The younger viewers won't have heard of. It was when you went to senior school, went to high school. Yeah. You didn't have to pass. I did, as it happened. I mean, but you took an art exam. So if you were the kid in class who could draw the best, I suppose, you know, then you get a shot at this school. And it was an incredible experience.
And the next edition of Life Stories can be seen on Tuesday nights at 8 and Sundays at 7:30.
Now, on this week's episode of Doorstep History, Tom, Norman and Sarah were looking at the life of William Perry, famous bare-knuckle boxer, also known as the Tipton Slasher.
The Tipton Slasher started fighting when he was only 16 years of age, and he'd gone down to London as a navigator, digging out the canals and the railways down there, and he fought a big Irish bully called Barney Geraghty, and they decided that they were going to fight over in Wimbledon Common. But unfortunately, the police turned up together with about 2,000 spectators. But they had to move then to Mortlake, and again the police turned up there. So then they ended up on a private estate in Chelsea, where Barney Geraghty, despite the fact he was much older, much more experienced, larger and heavier, was beaten wholly by the Tipton Slasher. Although even then he wasn't known as the Tipton Slasher. He became known as the Tipton Slasher when he came back to the Midlands and took on Ben Spilsbury, who was the Birmingham champion at that time. And again, they had a fight down towards Walsall. And what happened there was, again, the Tipton Slasher managed to win very easily. And in the write-up afterwards, one of the local journalists said that he was really the Tipton Slasher because of his slashing blows.
And you can see the next episode of Doorstep History Monday nights at 8 o'clock.
Now, sticking with history, on the news this week, one of our reporters spoke to Paul Quigley, curator for history and local studies at Wolverhampton Art Gallery.
Yeah, Wolverhampton is playing host to a range of history talks in October, shining a light on the history of the city, its people and its industries.
Lois Swinnerton has this report.
I believe local history is going under the spotlight here. Can you tell me about the talks that are going on?
Okay, well, we've been running local history talks at all of our venues for a long time, but it's an exciting time in October because this is our busiest couple of weeks for ages, in fact. We've got 5 talks in 2 weeks. I mean, they're a way of encouraging people to come to our venues, see our historical objects, but at the same time, a wider interest in the local history of the area.
And what sort of things are people going to be hearing about in these talks?
So the first talk is about the painting that's right behind me, which is a painting by Joseph Highmore of the family of Eldred Lancelot Lee. And the Lee family were a really important and wealthy local family, and this painting was produced in the early 1700s, so it's quite an old painting. It's impressive painting, it fills the whole gallery, and we have a historian, an art historian, Jacqueline Riding, who's coming up from London to talk about the context for the painting, why it was painted and what it means.
And I believe in one of the other talks it's about Bilston's connection with Mount Everest. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, this has puzzled a few people, but we've got a talk entitled Bilston, Everest and the Abominable Snowman, and not many people know about that link, but it's an interesting one, and it's really about a Bilston MP, a former Conservative MP of Bilston, Charles Howard Bury. Was an MP in the 1920s, and he was also a big adventurer, and he was one of the first Western explorers to go to the Himalayas and did a lot of the groundwork for the Everest expeditions of the 1950s.
Now, a school in Walsall has opened a nurture house on its grounds to help younger pupils develop their skills needed for school.
Little Streams is designed to help nursery and reception children learn social and language skills alongside the national curriculum.
Lindsay Smith spoke to those behind the project.
Well, 2 years ago, this house became vacant, and we knew that the school had a real need for nurture for our younger children. Some of our children in reception and nursery come in well below where they should be, national expectations, and they have limited experiences, poor social skills, poor language development, and we knew that we needed to offer them a safe, caring environment that we can nurture them.
Our children will come here and they will experience things such as sitting and listening, sitting at the table, sharing with their friends, and some people wouldn't think that was really important, but for our children to be able to learn and experience their journey is a fantastic one through school. That's what we need to instill in our children.
And who will benefit from this?
I would imagine that our whole community, not only just our school, but the community as a whole. I think what we want to do is we want our children to be valuable members of their community, and I think that although these children will only be 3, 4 and 5, that's a really good starting point for those children.
And what is the future of this house?
Well, I think there are two exciting things about this house. First of all, the vision to produce something so fantastic from such a long time ago. I think that's Jane had a vision, and the staff and everyone has come together, which is a second point, because the community contribution to this has been huge. People have given freely of their time and also the materials to make this a special, make Little Streams a really special place for everybody. So the future, I think it'll reflect the fact that community supported it, Jane's vision as leader of the school led it, and I think it'll become a real feature to make a real difference to children's lives across the board. It's really, really exciting and pretty unique.
We're looking at leasing out the rooms, which are upstairs, to external agencies, because some of our parents find it difficult to make appointments that the children might need. We've got opticians that are interested, there's school health, school nurses, behaviour support, and that would be brilliant to have that hub in the community whereby parents can just drop in if they need some support or some advice.
1, 2, 3, go! Yay!
Now, before we take a quick break, we have a challenge for you.
Oh yes. Now, earlier in the programme, we joined the Fizzogs and the UK's top animal communicators and pet psychics Elizabeth Lee Crowther.
Which has led us into our challenge for this week.
Yeah. Do you have a pet? Or do you know someone who has a pet?
Well, people often say that pets and animals can understand what we say. But do you know of an animal that has either gone above or beyond, or done something so completely different that it's made you laugh?
Yeah, I think we've all got stories about that, yeah? Have you got any stories?
Well, my cat was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Like, every time we hit like 10 o'clock at night, no word of a lie, it'd run around and make like a brrrr noise. See,
Really?
no one believes that cats can make that noise.
Did he wear a watch?
I promise you, like, I'm not lying, the cat actually did make that noise.
Really? Okay. What, 10 o'clock every night?
At 10 o'clock every night, and it'd jump and go crazy, and it was a bit scary.
Oh, well, we want to hear your stories, you see. Maybe you've got some photos or videos. Send them in and we'll try and show the best ones on a future show. Just tell us your stories.
And we'll remind you of our contact details later in the show. We'll see you after this little break. Welcome back to the Big Centre magazine with me, Chanel Shea Calvin.
And me, Lee Bannister. Well, time for a little bit of sport now. And top heavyweight prospect Anthony Joshua passed through the West Midlands on Wednesday evening as an after-dinner speaker at the Premier Suite in Cannock. And our James Brackpool caught up with a man whose 14 professional fights have all ended within 3 rounds.
Anthony, if Tyson Fury is Batman, what superhero are you?
I never grew up watching superheroes, I'm not too sure.
You're currently destroying the heavyweight division. You've remarked that it's the land of the giants. Just how healthy is the heavyweight division in your eyes?
Well, I think if Mayweather retires, it gives some sort of division some opportunity to reignite. So I think the heavyweight division is lively again. I'm not too sure what's going on across seas, but I know here in Britain it's popping up.
You're renowned for your punching power, but what's the hardest hit that you've ever taken?
Probably in the World Amateur Finals against someone from Azerbaijan, tough guy. You know, I was inexperienced, I was just there doing my thing first round, and then he stepped his game up in the second and third and hit me with some haymakers, and I'll never forget that fight. It was a tough fight.
You beat Gary Cornish inside 97 seconds. Gary came on the front foot against you. Was that something that surprised you?
No, because I think that mentality, he's got nothing to lose. It's only right he comes forward because he's a bigger man than me, so put me under pressure. But where I got a lot of sparring, I've got talented fighters that put me under pressure. I spar with guys bigger and stronger than me as well, but I can adapt quickly. So I managed to, you know, unravel Gary's puzzle, and I put him in his place.
And looking ahead to the Dylan White fight, how do you see that fight? Is that just a stepping stone for you, or is that your biggest fight to date?
Today, yeah, because it's a British title for sure. He's another unbeaten fighter, so if I can, you know, follow off what I've done to Gary and do to Dylan, I'll be in good preparation for 2016.
Well, now it's time to join Des and Gary for a look at what's going on around our area.
Starting at the New Alex Theatre, where now this is. Did you ever go and see The Shawshank Redemption, the film?
See it? I can't even see it. No. Shawshank Redemption, yes,
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's on TV, repeated every week.
I've never seen it yet.
Brilliant.
I've never seen
Absolutely
it yet.
fantastic.
But, so, despite protests of innocence, Andy Dufresne is handed a double life sentence for the brutal murder of his wife and her lover. Incarcerated in the notorious Shawshank facility, he quickly learns that no one can survive alone and strikes up an unlikely friendship with the prison fixer Red. Widely considered as the nation's favourite movie, Stephen King's classic story Shawshank Redemption takes to the stage in a new production which examines desperation, injustice, friendship and hope behind the claustrophobic bars of a maximum security penitentiary. So that should be quite interesting, putting it on stage.
I don't know, it would work on stage, yeah. Because it's all basically set in a prison.
It's pretty tight, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, bit good.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, I've yet to see it, but there you go.
There you go.
Until the 6th of October, the Hippodrome has Swan Lake, the romantic fable of ill-fated passion, powerfully illuminated by Tchaikovsky's legendary score.
Brilliant. Is that the Birmingham Royal Ballet doing that?
Yeah.
Ah, they are fantastic.
Filled with exquisite ensemble, lyrical pas de deux and bravura solos, this Swan Lake is atmospheric, romantic and beautiful and absolutely unforgettable.
Highly recommend that. Go and see the Birmingham Royal Ballet at the Hip. Fantastic. One of their principal dancers is a member of the same golf club as me, Rory. Good golfer.
Well, there
Good
you go.
golfer. There you go.
Mm.
Bit of inside information there that you didn't need to know.
Yeah. Hole in one. Maybe. At the Symphony Hall, celebrating his 56th anniversary in the music business this year, Cliff Richard is the ultimate pop star and indisputably Britain's all-time greatest hit maker.
Sir, Cliff Richard.
Sir Cliff Richard. His remarkable career has included many successful films, musicals, concert tours and television shows, all contributing to the legend that is Sir Cliff Richard. My mate used to play with him. He did a tour of Japan with him many years ago, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, he also made a film in Birmingham many, many years ago, and I can't remember what it was called, but there's a shot of him...
Wouldn't be Summer Holiday, would it?
No, it wasn't, no, not in Birmingham. there's a shot of it, it's all filmed around Birmingham, there's a big musical number then, they're going up and down New Street. I think it was made in probably in the 70s, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but there was that. And also, it was an interesting thing about Cliff. We used to share many years ago, the same optician for our contact lenses in London, in Surrey. There you go. I have sat in the same chair that Sir Cliff has when we've both been poked in the eye.
Oh, Wednesday.
Can I tell you something else about Cliff?
Go on, go on then.
I've got a chance I
He's
get
on
to
a roll
name
now.
drop.
He's on a roll.
I've also, a pal of mine bought a villa off Sir Cliff and Sue Barker in Marbella, and I stayed in it about 20 years ago. A little bit of intro about Cliff. There you go.
He's got a vineyard.
He's got a vineyard in Portugal.
Yes. Very nice.
There you go. That's all my Cliff stories. You can continue now.
Can I get on now? Yeah, okay. Wednesday. The Launchpad is a regular showcase of some of the unsigned bands and occasional solo artists that the Jam House considers ones to watch. Now, I know John Bunt's down at the Jam House, and he's actually got very, very keen ear for good stuff. So that's one I think is well worth checking out. It's over in St Paul's Square, the Jam House. The bands are live on stage at 8:30. So yeah, that'd be...
The Jam House, again, it's a great little venue in Birmingham. If you haven't been, you like live music, fantastic, good restaurant. I'm giving them loads of plugs, aren't we?
We are, yeah, and they have various nights. I mean, like Thursday night is like studenty night, I know that. Friday and Saturday is just rammed, and it's like wall-to-wall music. But they have Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They have some interesting visiting artists, and they also have local bands giving them a chance. So yeah, it's good venue. Appearing at the Kitchen Garden Cafe is Salford-based singer-songwriter and poet Vinnie Peculiar.
Yes,
great name, Vinnie Peculiar.
It's a made-up name. nobody has a surname Peculiar. You know, you wouldn't call your baby Vinnie Peculiar, would you? Oh, there's little Vinnie Peculiar.
Well, maybe not. Described as the Tony Hancock of pop, he's put out 10 albums of outsider pop music to great critical acclaim. Peculiar live solo shows are song and poem based, where witty words and self-depreciating monologues prevail. Is that self-deprecating?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
But I like the link to the Birmingham-born Tony Hancock.
Yeah.
That's nice, well done.
That starts at 7:30. And at the dance workshop on Ulster Road.
Yes.
Yeah. Dance Fitness is a fun, energetic and friendly class that is open to anyone. Ideal for cardio, leg strengthening, body strengthening, balance practice, core strengthening, floor barre and Pilates.
What is Pilates?
It's where you go like that and stretch against the muscles.
It's not sitting on a bike.
No, that's pedalling.
Oh.
No, Pilates, you strike a pose and then you sort of press back against the muscle.
Strike a pose?
And it's...
That's a good line for a song.
Yeah.
Let's call it Vogue.
Yeah,
the song
that's
Vogue.
a good one.
Strike a pose.
We'd sell it to Madonna.
Madonna would be good at that.
Yeah. This class is a fun way to keep fit and is all set to a fun mix of music. All abilities are welcome, and it's a drop-in class, so you just turn up and no booking required. Linking back to the ballet at the Symphony Hall, Sibelius's Fifth begins with a glowing sunrise and ends with a vision of a flight of swans.
What happens to his first, second, third and fourth?
Well, they're doing the fifth. The fifth one's the best. He got it right by the fifth.
We missed the other four,
He got it right by the fifth. And one of the simplest but noblest melodies ever written. A real CBSO speciality. There's no finer way to salute Sibelius in his anniversary year.
Absolutely right.
Thursday. A couple of local theatre...
I've got a drink, thank you.
A couple of local theatre events. Some friends of mine at the Sutton Coldfield United Reformed Church Dramatic Society in Brassington Avenue as The Unexpected Guest by Agatha Christie. A typical Christie plot where the wife of the deceased is found holding the revolver but everything's not as it seems.
Ah.
Yeah. And the Dove House Theatre in Solihull has Battle of the Exes, an original
I've had a few
sitcom
of them.
for the stage. You know all about that.
I do.
Both run from Thursday to Saturday. And there's an acoustic pop folk band called Tinlin, and they're playing a gig at the Old Joint Stock in Birmingham. Now, I think that'll be in the theatre upstairs.
Yes.
After performing at the venue late last year, the duo, who are in fact brothers, returned to play another evening set, which includes support from Harry Phillips, a new singer-songwriter. And a bit of grub now.
Yep.
Because we like a bit of grub, don't we?
Yes.
The Hare and Hounds is pleased to announce the return of their popular food takeover, which means like there's a chef or one of these street food lot. They just go in, take over the pub, and you can just eat the food.
That's a great idea.
Week 1 sees the Buddha Belly, bringing you the
Yeah.
tastes of Asia.
I'm looking at one now.
With the best Thai food around. Now, I had a quick look at the menu and it looks really tasty. Although I'm not sure about Northern Thai sausage. Whether it's like Northern Thai sausage. It's like, hey up lads, just want one of them spicy bangers,
It
you know.
sounds like something at the Kama Sutra to me.
Or it's Northern Thai sausage, which means it comes from the north of Thailand. You know, I don't know. But you have to go down and check it out. And here's what it is now. Mrs. GJ will like this. You'll love this one. A very special treat in Selfridge's Balcony Restaurant.
Oh, yes.
Celebrity chef Anthony Demetre hosts a one-night only celebration of food and drink as part of National Champagne Week. In partnership with Moet and Chandon, guests will experience a lavish 4-course evening menu accompanied by copious amounts of champagne flowing throughout the evening.
Ooh, that's good.
With only 70 places available, and Anthony being such a highly regarded chef, tickets are expected to sell out fast.
I can't place him. Has he been on
I haven't
Saturday
seen
Kitchen or something?
Don't know. So we'd advise diners to book early.
Thanks, guys, and they'll be back with us again at the same time next week.
Meanwhile, if you want even more What's On news, then you can join me for the What's On show on Monday nights at 7 p.m.
Time for another break now, and when we come back, we'll be looking into the postbag. We'll have your community news, and we'll be going all silly with our regular Tea Time Tiswas slot.
No, don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to the Big Centre magazine with me, Chanel Shea Calvin.
And me, Lee Bannister. Time now to look into the postbag to see what you've been saying to us.
Yeah, and Gary Jordan is a massive fan of Slade and recently appeared on the Long Lost Shows show, in which we were able to feature a clip of a previously missing performance by Noddy Holder and Slade from 1974. Gary says, "Great to see this on the Long Lost Show show. Local TV made by local people featuring local bands for local people."
Plenty of locals there, yeah.
And you won't see this kind of stuff on the BBC, even though it's one of their own shows and they wiped it. It's quite interesting. Well, thanks to all at Big Centre TV for not only a great show, but also a great channel.
He's far too kind.
He is, isn't he? And as Noddy Holder would say, keep on rocking with Big Centre TV. I haven't heard that phrase before, but I'm assuming it's
Keep on rocking, yeah. We like that, yeah.
Well, thanks to you too, Gary. We know how much you love your Slade, and we also know how many other people were pleased to be able to see see a little of what they hadn't seen before.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, also, Alan emailed us to say, "Hi guys, Tiswas is fantastic. Also, Terrahawks, more please. Also, I love the channel. Well done for making all this happen. Keep the great local TV coming. Thank you." Man, a few words, but we like those
Straight to the
words.
point.
Oh yes, thank you for that, Alan. Glad you're enjoying the channel. Yeah, we like Terrahawks as well.
You do?
Big fan.
And remember, if you want to get in touch with us, then we'll give you the details a little later on, and we'll also be delving into the postbag one more time at the same time next week.
Yeah. Time for a look now at what's going on in your community, and if you know of something happening which could do with a little extra and free promotion, then why not get in touch with us?
Make sure you tell us in plenty of time and we'll tell you how you can get in touch with us again a little later on.
Now, Sandwell's Autumn Safer 6 campaign is back. The 6-week campaign, now in its 6th year, runs until the 8th of November. And the idea is that organisations work closely together day in, day out throughout the year to make Sandwell a safer, cleaner place. The Safer 6 campaign is all about targeting efforts and providing extra reassurance during the darker nights, fireworks and bonfire season, a time when crime and antisocial behaviour can often rise. Now, council, fire, police, health and probation services and voluntary organisations are all taking part. They work with the community to identify issues, tackle crime and antisocial behaviour and clean up grot spots. Love that phrase, grot spots.
So do I.
We all know what they mean. And you see, each town in Sandwell will also have a focus week during the campaign, responding to issues which local people have said are important to them. And here is where it's all taking place within the 6 towns which make up Sandwell. The week commencing 28th of September, it's at Wednesbury.
Week commencing the 5th of October, that's where Rowley Regis is taking place.
Week commencing 12th of October is in Tipton.
Week commencing the 19th of October is Oldbury.
Week commencing 26th of October, West Bromwich.
And last but not least, the week commencing the 2nd of November is Smethwick.
And there are more details on the website at www.sandwell.gov.uk and just look up the Safer 6 campaign.
Now, a new research project to uncover information about the lives of 2 working-class Old Hill girls who were adopted by the well-to-do owner of Hayden Hill House in 1880s is underway, and local history buffs can watch online as the evidence unfolds and the project progresses over the coming months. Curator and visual artist Joe Loki intends to unravel the mystery surrounding Alice Cookin and Bertha Emma Bryant, dubbed Best Angels for the project. They were adopted in around 1882 into a new and exciting life of privilege and opportunity by George Alfred Hayden Best, who built the house in 1878. The project has an online resource for anyone wanting to follow its progress, and the museum is appealing to anyone with any information about Alice Cookin and Bertha Emma Bryant to contact them on 01384 569 444. To follow the project online, visit the Best Angel blog at www.bestangelswordpress.com. On Facebook, just do a search for Best Angels.
Yeah, you know, I went to a friend's wedding there once. Hello, Kate. And it really is a lovely place, a fascinating story.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that. Now, Balsall Heath residents have been reminded that there'll be a referendum on Thursday the 8th of October about the adoption of the Balsall Heath neighbourhood plan. The question asked will be, do you want Birmingham to use the neighbourhood plan for Balsall Heath to help it decide planning applications in the neighbourhood area?
Oh.
Yeah, now residents can vote in the referendum on the 8th of October if they live in the area, and also if they would usually be able to vote in local government elections. Residents who have not received a polling card but believe they should be entitled to vote in this referendum should contact the Elections Office on 0121 303 2731. And more information about the referendum is available at birmingham.gov.uk/Balsall Heath NDP.
And another vote is happening in our area, and this one is concerned with Sandwell's great parks and green spaces. Sandwell has 13 Green Flag awarded parks and green spaces, which are all in the running for the Keep Britain Tidy's Green Flag People's Choice Awards 2015. What a title.
I know, it's a big one.
Now, voting closes at midday on the 30th of September. The UK public's top 10 favourite green spaces will then be announced in October. Now, the ones you can vote for in our area are as follows: Barnford Park in Oldbury,
Branthall Road allotments in Oldbury,
Brunswick Park in Wednesbury,
Dartmouth Park in West Bromwich,
Dingley Road allotment in Wednesbury,
Hayden Hill Park in Cradley Heath,
Moorlands allotments in West Bromwich,
Sandwell Valley Country Park,
also in West Bromwich there's also Sandwell Valley Crematorium,
Tipton Cemetery,
and Smethwick Victoria Park,
and Victoria Park also in Tipton.
And last but not least, Worley Woods in Bearwood. Now, green flags are the national mark of quality for parks and green space in the UK, and this scheme is run by Keep Britain Tidy. To vote, just go to www.cleanflagaward.org.uk, and to find the places in our area, just look for the West Midlands section. And as I said, you've got up until midday on September the 30th to make your choice.
Now, a store which sells upcycled furniture at affordable prices has just struck a deal with Walsall Council, which will see fewer household items going to landfill. Our Lindsay Smith spoke to Stephen Sharman from Accord Housing about what plans Already Loved have for the unwanted furniture.
If a customer calls the council, they will go through a screening process to identify whether there's reusable items. If there are, and if there's pretty much over 50% of the items are reusable, the collection will be referred through to us, and we'll carry out that collection and put the reusable items to good use and return the non-reusable items to the local waste tip.
How did this deal come about?
I found to be successful and sustainable, you really need to work in partnership with local authority. So even before the project started, I was in discussions trying to find out the right person at the council to speak to, discussing proposals and how this would work, and looking at how we could run a pilot to see if it could potentially support the council in what they do.
What do you hope will become of this?
Hopefully, this will give us enough collections throughout the week to make us sustainable in terms of the collection fees, the reusable items that we can pass on at low cost to create extra revenue, and eventually lead on to us employing more people. This is a great project that the Accord Group has allowed us to set up through Karma Accord Housing. It provides employment for 2 people, volunteering opportunities. We work closely with Time for Real Time Bank in Walsall. We work closely with Talent Match as well to provide people with valuable work experience to help them in their quest to find employment.
Now, a Walsall Youth Centre is asking for people to donate any unwanted musical instruments for their big music project, which sees young people learning to play a variety of instruments through peer-to-peer learning. Now, Lindsay Smith spoke to youth worker Fiona Wilson to find out how the big music project works.
We were one of the 100 hubs around the country, and the young people that we worked with who became champions decided to do peer-led workshops. So basically they use their skills and pass them on to other young people to learn new skills. So young people have learned how to play the guitar, how to sing as a group, they've learned how to play the drums. They've also learned how to use recording equipment, and they've put on performances throughout the year to their friends and family.
And how does it benefit the young people?
Oh, they build up self-esteem and confidence, they learn new skills, also skills that are transferable which they can use in other places of their life.
Why do you need the instruments?
We need new instruments to help the young people develop new skills with different instruments, and basically we didn't have enough, so our numbers were growing and growing, but the equipment was not growing with it. So we put our following doing a big gig last year, one of the ideas is that we did a musical instrument amnesty and did a call out for old instruments but also broken instruments we could get repaired. So far we've had violins, trombones, saxophones, trumpets, guitars and even a harmonica. So we've had lots of various instruments, but we don't mind. They can call us on 01922 655 419 and we'll come and collect them from them.
So that's your community news for this week, but don't feel left out, because if there's something happening near to you, something that could use a little bit of boost by being mentioned on the telly, then you know where we are. And of course, for community news, it's absolutely free.
Yeah, we'll try and get through as many as we can, and all that we ask is that you let us know in plenty of time.
So you can email postbag@bigcentre.tv or send us a message on social media by searching Big Centre TV.
Or you can send us some details in the post and... there's the address. Big Centre Magazine, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
I almost forgot them.
I know.
I always do that.
OK, now it's time for...
That's a drum roll impression.
Work, does he? Tea Time Tiswas.
Remember, you can see the show on Saturday nights at 10, Sunday mornings at 10, Wednesday afternoons at 3 and Friday nights at 10:30.
Plenty of times, yeah. Now, remember, if you have any comments about Tiswas, stay tuned for our contact details at the end of the show.
Now, Andy Harper has been in touch, I believe. I love his drum roll.
I thought you were going to do that again.
And he says, thank you to the team for bringing Tiswas back with Tiswas pies and their A to Z of Tiswas. They are a joy to watch. Madcap lunacy at its best. I love that.
That's great, isn't it?
Great to see a true ATV programme back on our screens, complete with ATV front and end captions. Wonderful stuff.
Us anoraks appreciate that.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Oh, and Andy has used the hashtag, this is what they want.
There we go.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful.
Oh, gosh, you do.
Yes.
Now, but remember to use this hashtag if you want us to see your message.
Yeah. And A. Stuart Williams has been in touch and he says, I've been enjoying Tiswas a lot myself. Many happy memories of those far-off great days of ATV when kids' entertainment wasn't po-faced, boring and glossy.
Ooh.
Oh, we couldn't agree more. No, I know.
Right, time now for a little extra bit of Tiswas for you at this time every week.
Yes, here we go with another in our series of the A to Z of Tiswas. I wonder where we're up to this week.
This is the alphabetical celebration of a children's show that rocked a nation from a Midlands television station. We're looking at the letter C, so we're going over to the cage. Yes, adults are welcome on Tiswas as long as they are locked up and pelted with water and all kinds of horrible gloop.
We wanted people to come in, adults, to come in and stand in a specially constructed cage, right? To stand. I mean, it sounds silly, doesn't it? But we actually, the first week, this is a true story, the first week our secretary was upstairs, we were very pleased, we actually got 11,000 letters by the first day. And, I mean, it's very simple, really. All you did is... No. I remember we used to have the door shut. And all they do is they write in, it's like school teachers, police chiefs, all the people. And you get a bucket of water and you just...
The camera's broken.
I don't know, I'll just go and talk to the floor manager and ask him, excuse me a second.
I mean, not tell anyone, don't forget the chat.
No, is that thing working? Sorry about this, excuse me, it's rather strange monitor we've got here. Good morning. Sorry about that, something about a confusion there. The monitor we were watching still had UB40 on. Okay, better now.
Obviously, the New Year holiday's done you good,
Start the New Year's, I mean to go on. Yes, I thought I did. The turkey, builds up.
C also gives us Chris Tarrant, the main frontman of Tiswas. A horrible scruffy linchpin. Yet Tiswas' success is all down to this flaxen-haired genius. Let's take a look at his chemistry with Sally.
Hey, Sally, you've got lovely eyes.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
I can never understand why you keep one of them in your handbag. I'm Gladys Smith, and I'm definitely not the world fib-telling champion. You know, it really is a great pleasure and a privilege for me to be here talking to you. Now, I'm standing up here today because I'm very worried and depressed. Very worried and depressed about the shortage of good fibs being told by people these days. And it's not just me who worries. So's my secretary, who's sitting here beside me. Sorry, excuse me. I must have a drink of water, excuse me. So I'm appealing to you to join our association so that you can learn to tell really good fibs too. In fact, we've just moved into these very nice offices right in the heart of central London. And of course, all the profit being made by the Fib Tellers Association is being ploughed back direct into the company. None of it whatsoever ends up in my pocket. Now, of course, if you do join us, you'll be able to wear our rather distinctive and very famous Fib Tellers tie with its familiar black and gold stripe. Well, I could obviously stand here all day talking to you, but with the time now, my rather expensive gold watch coming up to exactly 6:25, I've got to get along. So why not send for our neat, compact little pocket-sized booklet? It's called Teach Yourself Fib Telling, and it costs just 30 pence. Why not delay? Don't delay. Send for one tomorrow. Here's our address. It's the Fib Tellers Club, 118 Stanton Road, Coventry. Just check that again. It's the Fib Tellers Club, 92 Frogspawn Road, Glasgow. And finally, just before I go, I'm going to tell you one very important thing. Goodbye.
Well, it's January the 3rd, and I've been asked to remind you there are now exactly 300 more shopping days to Christmas. I've also been asked to remind the Forestry Commission there are 300 more chopping days to Christmas. To remind National Char Ladies there are 300 more mopping days to go. To remind British Leyland Shop Stewards there are 300 more stopping days to go. To all prisoners in our jails there are 300 more slopping days to go. To big fat women nudists on Brighton Beach there are 300 more flopping days to Christmas. To Sir Keith Joseph regarding the nationalised industries there are 300 more propping days to go. To all people who are accident prone there are 300 more dropping days to go. To all hangmen there are 300 more topping days to go. To the Anfield Police Force there are 300 more copping days to Christmas. To Julie Andrews Fan Club there are 300 more Mary Popping days to go. To lovers of classical music everywhere there are 300 more Chopin days to go. And if you're weekending in France it's worth reminding all funky froggy farmers buying new combine harvesters that there are 300 more bopping, hopping, cropping, chopping days left to next Christmas. And to all Iranian housewives there are just 300 more shoplifting days to go. And remember, some of our shops over here can be very, very heavy.
Cool. And we'll have the next letter in the series around the same time next week here on Big Centre Magazine.
Now remember, there are 4 chances to catch our special compilation shows Tiswas Pies again here on Big Centre TV.
That is Saturday nights at 10, Sunday mornings at 10, Wednesday afternoons at 3 and Friday nights at 10:30.
Oh, and remember our hashtag, this is what they want.
Now, just before we go, here's a reminder of our challenge for this week.
Oh yes, do you have a pet? Or do you know someone with a pet? Well, as we said, people often say that pets and animals can understand what we say, but do you know of an animal that's either gone above or beyond or done something completely different that's it's made you laugh?
Do you have a story?
I do, but I can't say.
You can't, oh, okay. Oh, that sounds interesting.
No, not on here, anyway.
Well, hopefully you can share your stories, or maybe you've got photos or videos. Just send them in and we'll try our best to show them on a future show.
You ever see me? Ask me the story and I'll tell you. Anyway, we've reached the back pages of your Big Centre magazine for another week.
But remember, although the show is all about us and what's on Big Centre TV, it's all about you as well. So why not give us a shout about your community news and information too? It's a way for you or anyone you know to promote something positive going on local to you. And as we said, the publicity is absolutely free. So what have you got to lose?
Nothing at all. So for that, or if there's anything else you'd like to talk about, don't forget this week's challenge. Then on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, just look us up, Big Centre TV. Or if you want to email us, then send an email into our postbag address, which is postbag@bigcentre.tv.
And our postal address is... I'll probably use this to help me this time.
Yeah, go on
then. Last episode I completely got it wrong. It is the Big Centre Magazine, Big Centre TV, 14A Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
I look like a ventriloquist then, didn't I?
You did. Bye!
Oh yeah, there it goes.
I was gone. Well, I'll be back with What's On Monday nights at 7.
And I'll be back with your Big Centre magazine with her.
That's nice.
The same time next week.
So we'll see you then.
All right, sorry.
That's fine. I can't wait for you to tell me a story which you can't.